ओमज्ञानतिमिरस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. So we'll continue our discussion on this topic. I'll just share the screen for you. So we are discussing the hierarchy, how karma, prayaschitta, jnana, yoga, and chanting the holy name, and then Shuddha Bhakti. So this is how the hierarchy goes. And before this, we have discussed about Nama, Prad, Nama, Bas. Okay, now Prabhuji is explaining it in a more detailed way. I'm sorry. Sukadeva Goswami continued, My dear king, having thus perfectly judged the principles of devotional service with reasoning and argument, the order carriers of Lord Vishnu released the Brahmana Ajamila from the bondage of Yamadutas and saved him from imminent death. Oh, now they didn't have choice because the Vishnu Dutas gave a higher argument. One thing is Yamadutas did not understand much. That's why they go to Yamaraj and then they clarify it. They become very emotional in front of Yamaraj and they ask very heavy questions. But at this point, they didn't have option. They didn't understand the philosophy. But one thing they understood that they cannot fight and they cannot take Ajamil, whatever reason it may be. So, my dear Maharaj Parikshit, O subduer of all enemies, after the servants of Yamaraj had been answered by the order carrier of Lord Vishnu, they went to Yamaraj and explained to him everything that has happened. In this verse, the word Pratyudhitai is very significant. The servants of Yamaraj are so powerful that they can never be hindered anywhere. But this time they were baffled and disappointed in their attempt to take away a man they considered sinful. Therefore, they immediately returned to Yamaraj and described to him everything that has happened. So they didn't understand the reasons. Now, for us also, Acharya's commentaries and so many classes, after that, we are understanding something. And because Yamadutas, they're very expert in knowing what is right and wrong. They know all the dharmic principles. For them to understand devotional principles was not easy. They couldn't understand. They know what is right, what is wrong, and uh, they are very powerful personalities. Also, they look very horrifying, but basically they want to give proper judgment for anybody. Here, the judges who are giving in the present world Prabhupada writes, they are corrupt. They are not giving proper judgment, even though they look good. But Yamadutas, they are looking very terrifying, but they are giving proper judgment. But here they could not do it this time. They did not understand. Are this sinful person and they are telling somehow he chanted one time the name and then he is free and how is it possible? Having been released from the noose of Yamaraj servant, the Brahmana Ajamil, now free from fear, came to his senses and immediately offered obeisances to Vishnu Dutas by bowing his head at their lotus feet. He was extremely pleased by their presence, for he had seen them saved his life from the hands of the servants of Yamaraj. Vaishnavas are called Vishnudutas because they carry out the order of Krishna. Lord Krishna is very eager for all the conditioned souls rotting in the material world to surrender to him and be saved from the material pangs in this life and punishment in the hellish condition after death. A Vaishnava therefore tries to bring conditioned souls to their senses Those who are fortunate like Ajamila are saved by Vishnu Dutas or Vaishnavas, and thus they return back home, back to Godhead. So this is the situation. Oh, sinless Maharaj Parikshit. The order carrier of personality of God, Vishnu saw that Ajamila was attempting to say something and that they suddenly disappeared from his presence. So here Shastra says, Papishtaye Durachara Deva Brahmana Nindaka Apyatta Bhojana Stena Akale Maranam Dhruvam. Prabhupada is telling, for a person who are papishta, very sinful, durachari, misbehaved, or very unclean in their habits, who are against the existence of God, who disrespect Vaishnavas and Brahmanas, who eat anything and everything, untimely death is sure. Very important. You see, untimely death is for whom? Who are unclean habits, against the existence of God, who eat anything and everything. It is said in Kali Yuga, one has a maximum life of 100 years, but as people become degraded, the duration of their life decreases. Prayan alpayushaha. Because Ajamila was now free from all sinful reaction, this fellow lived 90 years, even though he is very sinful. His lifetime was extended. Even though he was to have died immediately, when the Vishnudutas saw Ajamil trying to say something to them, they disappeared to give him a chance to glorify Supreme Lord. One devotee, he was one brahmachari went to astrologer. Astrologer looked at his chart and he said, "Arey, you are supposed to die last year only, according to this chart." And that time he had a major accident. He was going in a bus party, distributing books, and there was some accident, and he got hurt on his head, but nothing happened. It was small hurt. He got some stitches and free. The doctor said, sir, the astrologer said you are supposed to die because you became a devotee. You got extension in your lifetime, lifespan, so that you can practice. The same thing. When the Vishnu Dasa Ajamila trying to say something to them, they disappeared to give him a chance to glorify Supreme Lord. Since all his sinful reactions have been vanquished, he is now prepared to glorify the Lord. Indeed, one cannot glorify the Lord unless one is completely free from all sinful activities. Yesham Dantagatam Papam Jananam Purnakarmana Ye Dvantamoha Nirmukta Bhajantemam Dridabhat. For taking up bhakti, anybody can take. But to maintain, you need to do some you need to maintain goodness. So here for glorification, what is needed is Jananam Punya Karmana. Tve Dvanda Moha Nirmukta. This is the most important. Dvanda Moha Nirmukta. We should not take happiness and distress very seriously. Then only we can glorify Krishna. There will be some painful moments in life and there will be happy moments. But both are not important for us. Glorification of Krishna is important. For Prabhupada, his wife, she did not cooperate, children did not become devotees, his business collapsed. Prabhupada took it as, say, okay, maybe he did not sit and lament, oh, I lost everything. He thought more important for me is Guru's mission. And when he was going in Jaladuta, there are so many troubles. But Prabhupada did not take it. For him, more important is I should serve my Guru. So that is actually a devotee. Devotee for him, most important thing is glorification of Krishna. He will not look into his own situation, whether good, bad, and all. So for him, the most important is Te Dvanda Moha Nirmukta. So this is the success. We all have to be in the direction. We have to be free from. Malab, of course, it is very easy to say. I am also not free from it, but I am telling what is the standard. So, Te Dvanda Moha Nirmukta. Persons who are free from, who have acted piously in previous life and in this life, whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, and who are free from duality. of delusion, engaging themselves in service. So duality is what is important. So at our level, what we can practice is freeing from duality. So Vishnu have made Ajamil aware of devotional service so that he might immediately become fit to return home back to God. To increase his eagerness to glorify the Lord, they disappeared so that he would feel separation in their absence. In the mode of separation, glorification of Lord is very intense. So after hearing the discourses between Yamadutas and Vishnudutas, Rajamala could understand the religious principles that act under the three modes of material nature. These principles are mentioned in the three Vedas. He could also understand the transcendental religious principles which are above the modes of nature and which concern the relationship between the living being and the Supreme Lord. Furthermore, Ajamila heard glorification of holy name, fame, qualities, and pastimes of Supreme Lord. He thus became a perfectly pure devotee. He could then remember his past sinful activities, which he greatly regretted having performed. So this is Sukadeva Goswami is telling to Parikshit Maharaj. त्रैगुण्य विषया वेद निस्त्रैगुण्यो भवार्जुन निर्द्वंदो नित्यसत्वस्तो निर्योगक्षेमात्मम. Prabhupada is telling the Vedic principles certainly describe a gradual progress of rising to the spiritual platform. But if one remains attached to Vedic principles, there is no chance of being elevated to spiritual life. You see, very important point. Vedas are giving gradual progress. Please hear attentively. Vedas are giving gradual. But if one is attached to those Vedic principles, there is no chance of being elevated spiritually. Krishna therefore advised Arjuna to perform devotional service which is transcendental. See, third canto of Bhagavatam, third canto explains that materialistic life is dangerous, right? But fourth canto explains that even pious life is also dangerous. That is actually what is fourth canto. So Bhagavatam is helping us to remove the obstacles for us to reach Krishna. We have so many obstacles in our consciousness which are holding us to go to Krishna. 10th canto is not a book. It is a direct life of Krishna. So to enter into life of Krishna, we need to free ourselves from all the conditionings. So materialistic tendencies are anyway there. Materialistic way of life. Materialistic way of life is what I don't, I am trying to find all the physics laws, chemical laws, thermodynamic laws, all these laws. Why we are trying to find out these laws? Why the scientists are doing this? Because they want to figure out that everything is happening because of certain laws. Now, the problem is if everything is because of this law, that law, this law, then there is no Supreme Lord. You just have to manipulate it and enjoy nicely here. So this is a very important understanding why people are not interested in God, because they want to exploit this world. If there is somebody above, we cannot exploit. That is materialistic life. And third canto is telling, Kapila is telling, and no, dangerous, dangerous. Okay. Now fourth canto tells, even Vedic way of life is also dangerous. So the point is that, so in Vedic way of life, the danger is that it is with the through all the past time, starting with Daksha. This fellow, he wanted to do all the Vedic sacrifices and all very properly. What is the end result? He got a goat head. And we have Prithu Maharaj. He wanted to do what happened? Indra became upset. And so we see that Atri Rishi, he performed yajna, you don't know who is supreme. So like that, fourth canto, one after another, it tells, don't be attached to even Vedic way of life. Even Dhruva also have to do extra work to overcome all the pious credits he accumulated. Like that. So nothing works in Vedic way completely for spiritual rising. But if one remains attached, there is no chance. So Krishna therefore advised Arjuna to perform devotional service in which the process of which is the process of transcendental religion. The transcendental position of devotional service is also confirmed in Bhagavad. Savai pumsam paro dharmo. This is what is. Bhakti is parodharma, it's transcendental. That's why after writing all the Vedas, Narada is telling Vyasa, "Re, what did you do? This is all bogus." Write something Bhagavatam best. That is why it is parodharma. It is nothing to do with Vedic standards. It is above them. It is not material dharma. People generally think religion should be pursued for material profit. This may be suitable for persons interested in material life, but one who is interested in spiritual life should not be attached to should be attached to parodharma. Right? Yato bhakti radokshate. We have to that's why if you see now South India and all, so many nice rituals are happening, nice mantras are chanted, still people are chanting some mantras and very nice procedures. If you go there and see them na, they look very meticulous and very nicely done, and everything is there, but problem is that is not needed only. We need spirituality. We need Krishna. Krishna don't need all these things. Even Brahma, he second canto to Narada Muni is telling, "Arey, I am personified Veda. I am made of Vedas. I know all the Vedas. I am personification of tapasya. I did so much tapasya. You know, great tapasya I did. Nobody crosses me in tapasya. I am self-realized, but I cannot know Supreme Lord. I need, I can only understand, he can be understood only by bhakti. And my words don't go wrong. My thoughts don't go wrong. My senses don't become weak. Only reason is because I take shelter of lotus feet of Krishna. So to get Krishna, knowing Vedic knowledge, tapasya, Kumbh Mela people, you will find people are lying on thorns. He's completely covered with thorns, front, back, and no, he's pierced by thorns, and whole day he's sitting like that. He's lying on thorns. I know Prabhupada writes in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells this is austerity in Tamoguna. And some people are fasting for days together. That is also in Tamoguna only. You are torturing your body. By that we don't get it. And people are impressed. Bapre, what a great tapasvi. It is no need. What is needed is how can you serve Krishna with feeling? That's what is needed. That's all. You need not do any great tapasyas. We cannot do tapasya also, not problem. Prabhuji, I cannot do big fastings. No need of any fasting. Like people do chaturmas, 4 months. They will not eat only grains. They will only survive on some fruits and vegetables. If you cannot do, no problem. People can do, they can do. It will help their chanting, they can do. If it is not helping your chanting, no need to do. So for us, what is needed is just serving Krishna. So the Bhagavatam religious teaches that the Lord and living entity are eternally related, and the duty of living entity is to surrender to Lord. When one is situated on the platform, devotional one is free from impediments and completely satisfied. Prabhupada did not do any much austerities. He was happily taking prasadam. You will not find Prabhupada is doing heavy Chaturmas Vrata. He is doing Adhik Mas Vrata. Prabhupada never did all these things. He happily took prasadam lunch, and then Ekadasi he followed, and then he preached. And even till last part of his life, until he became very sick, he was happily taking prasadam. So you can follow, no problem. Having been elevated to the platform, uh, Ajamila began to lament for his past materialistic activities and glorify the name, form, fame, form, and past tense of Supreme Lord. So now Ajamila is first time speaking in whole of this episode. Ajamila said, this is first time Ajamila is. Alas, being a servant of my senses, how degraded I became. I fell down from my position as a duly qualified Brahman and begot children in the womb of a prostitute. So now he is lamenting. So this is the change that happened because of chanting of the holy name. If we are getting, it is not that we person needs punishment. What is needed is he should repent. If repentance comes, Lord will forgive. Lord is a loving mother. He is not creating. So that is another point. When Bhagavatam is considered as Adhyatma Deepam. Deepam means lamp. Why Bhagavatam is called lamp? Because the two cantos. One is two subjects. Bhagavatam has 10 subjects. Two subjects, which is creation and annihilation. Both are considered as lamb because we are afraid in this world. There is a fear for living entities. What is the cause of fear? Cause of fear is death. But when we know that creation and annihilation both are done by the Supreme Lord, not just Supreme Lord, a very loving, caring Supreme Lord, He desires good for us and He does everything good for us. If we know that, and then we know that He is doing who is doing this part, then we will not have any worry. Then we'll be free from fear. Okay, He knows what is good. Generally, what happens, why people are fear of death? Because they are fearful of losing control. So in our life, we want to control things, but when death comes, we cannot control our body only. Now we are able to control our body, we are able to control our family members, things around us. So we have some control, but death means no control. So that causes great fear. So, but when we know that the death, that is annihilation and creation, both are by the same Lord and who is very merciful. He's very kind. He's very loving. Then we'll know that he is doing means he has a purpose behind it and he's not doing anything randomly. So individually he is concerned about living entities and he is doing for it. So it is doing for my good. That is how we can be free. So here when Ajamila, so Lord is very loving and caring. When he sees that we are lamenting and we are really repenting, not just lamenting, we are repenting for our things because he is so loving, he will immediately forgive us. So here we see Ajamila is repenting. The men of higher class, the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, do not beget children in the womb of lower class. Therefore, the custom of Vedic society is to examine the horoscope of a girl and boy considered for marriage to see whether their combination is suitable. Vedic astrology reveals whether one has been born in the Vipra Varna, Kshatriya Varna, Vaishya Varna, or Shudra Varna according to three qualities of nature. This must be examined because a marriage between a boy and a Vipra Varna and a girl of the Shudra Varna is incompatible. Marriage life would be miserable for both husband and wife. Consequently, a boy should marry a girl of the same category. Of course, this is Traigunya, a material calculation according to Vedas. But if the boy and girl are devotees, they need be no such consideration. A devotee is transcendental. Therefore, in a marriage between devotee, the boy and girl form a very happy combination. Now it is not forming. Many problems are coming with this marriages only, devotee matches, because the problem is because of many material conditionings. In the West, everybody in same category, so there was no need of horoscope. So Prabhupada was having that situation that time, so it worked. But in India, it won't work like that. In the West, it will work because all are in the same varna, that is Shudra varna. That is difficult, not very easy. But India, still there is some gaps are there. That's why there is a problem now. Alas, so Ajamila is telling. I will explain this maybe in future. Some other time we get more detailed topic because this topic is different. I don't want to go in boy girl psychology and all. Maybe some sessions if we get exclusively that topic, we'll discuss more. But this is Ajamila's lamentation, so we will we will go for this lamentation part. We'll see. Alas, all condemnation upon me. I acted so sinfully that I degraded my family tradition. Indeed, I gave up my caste and beautiful young wife to have sexual intercourse with a fallen prostitute, accustomed to drinking wine. All condemnation upon me. So then he is really when he is lamenting the tears, so the repentance, the hot tears are coming from his eyes, which is washing away all the reactions. So Prabhupada is saying, this is the mentality of one who is become a pure devotee. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Amara Jivana Sada Paperata Nahi ko punyera lesha. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. So when one is elevated to the platform of devotional service by the grace of Lord and spiritual master, One first regrets his past sinful activities. This helps one advance in spiritual life. The Vishnudutas have given Ajamila the chance to become a pure devotee, and the duty of a pure devotee is to regret his past sinful activities in illicit sex, intoxication, meat eating, gambling. Not only should one give up his past bad habits, but he must also regret his past sinful acts. That is the stand of pure devotional service. And then he is further lamenting. My father and mother were old and had no other son or friend to look after them. Because I did not take care of them, they lived very with great difficulty. Alas, like an abominable low caste man, I unregretfully left them in that condition. Really, Ajamil did really wrong things. But somehow he was saved because of chanting. So that is a different thing. But this is not a very good behavior. According to Vedic civilization, everyone has a responsibility to take care of Brahmanas, old men, women, children, and cows. This is a duty. This is the duty of everyone, especially on upper class people. Because of his association with a prostitute, Ajamila abandoned all his duties. Regretting this, Ajamila now considers himself fallen, quite fallen. And now it is said, it is now clear that as a consequence of such activities, a sinful person like me must be thrown into hellish condition meant for those who have broken religious principles and must there suffer extreme miseries. So Ajamila understood that why what Yamadutas are telling is extremely correct. They are very right only. Was this a dream I saw, or was it reality? I saw fearsome men with ropes in their hands and coming to arrest me and drag me away. Where have they gone? And where have those four liberated and very beautiful persons gone who released me from arrest and saved me from being dragged down to the hellish regions? As Prabhupada writing, as we have learned from the description of fifth canto, the hellish planets are situated in the lower portion of the universe. Therefore, they are called Adho Bhuva. Ajamala could understand that Yamadutas have come from that region, so they are coming from the lower region, south. And he says, I am certainly most abominable and unfortunate to have merged in an ocean of sinful activity, but nevertheless, because of my previous sinful activities, I could see those four exalted personalities who come to rescue me. Now I feel exceedingly happy because of this their visit. So sadhu sangha, sarva shastra koi, lava matra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoy. So this is what Prabhupada is writing. He said in the beginning of his life, Ajahn was certainly very pure. He associated devotees Brahmanas, but he got fallen. And certainly this was due to good counsel given from within by the Supreme Lord. As Lord says, Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto mattasmitir jnanam apohanam cha. Somehow Ajamila got saved. So Guru Krishna Prasad Epai Bhakti Lata Beach. And this is further where it were it not for my past devotional service, how could I, a most unclean keeper of a prostitute, have gotten an opportunity to chant the holy name of Vaikuntapati? When I was just ready to die, certainly it could not have been possible. So he's this propagating the name Vaikuntapati means the master of spiritual worlds. He is not different from the name Vaikuntha. So who has now realized soul. So Ajamila became a realized soul, just one encounter only. I could understand that because of past activities. Some people now they go to hell and come also. But they don't get realization. Ajamila is fortunate because he has some background also. That is another advantage. I have some cases where they have visited hell and came. Then they understood, oh, I did wrong. But then they said, okay, let us continue. So they are doing pious, but they gave up sinful activity, but they didn't take spiritual life seriously. Ajamala control. I am shameless cheater who have killed his Brahminical culture. Indeed, I am sin personified. Where am I comparison to all auspicious chanting of the holy name? So those engaged in broadcasting the holy name of Narayana, Krishna to Krishna conscious movement should always consider what our position was before we came and what is now. This is the most important point. We should all meditate on this. Prabhupada is writing this. Those who engage in broadcasting the holy name of Narayana, Krishna, through the Krishna conscious movement should always consider what our previous position was and before we came and what is now. We had fallen into abominable lives as meat eaters, drunkards, and woman hunters who performed all kinds of sinful activities, but now we have been given the opportunity to chant Hare Krishna. Therefore, we should always appreciate this opportunity. By the grace of Lord, we are opening many branches and we should use this good fortune to chant the holy name of Lord and serve the Supreme Lord directly. We, we must be conscious of the difference between our present and past condition and should always be very careful not to fall from the most exalted life. And in such a sinful, Ajamil, I am such a sinful person, but since I have now gotten this opportunity, I must completely control my mind, life, and senses, and always engage in devotional service so that I may not fall again into the deep darkness and ignorance of material life. So Prabhupada is telling this nice point Prabhupada makes. He says, everyone should have this determination. What? That I should engage in devotional so that I may not fall. So complete control of mind, life, and senses and engage. Full intensity. We have been elevated to an exalted position by the mercy of Krishna and the spiritual master. And if we remember that this great opportunity and pray to Krishna that we will not fall again, our lives will be successful. Only two lines purport, but most powerful purport. And then, because of identifying oneself with body, Ajamila is telling, one is subjected to desires for sense gratification. Thus, one engages in many different types of pious and impious activities. This is what constitute material bondage. Ajamila is telling, now I shall disentangle myself from my material bondage, which has been caused by the Supreme Lord's illusory energy in the form of a woman. Being a foolish fallen soul, I have I I was victimized by the illusionary energy and have become like a dancing dog led around a woman's hand. Now I shall give up all lusty desires and free myself from this illusion. I shall become a merciful, well wishing friend to all living entities and always absorb myself in Krishna consciousness. Bapre, what a realization. Ajamila is so fortunate and such a special realization in so no time. And now Prabhupada is telling, very nice purport. This should be the standard of determination for all Krishna conscious persons. Prabhupada is reading small purports but very heavy points, all three last three purports. A Krishna conscious person should free himself from the clutches of Maya. He should always be compassionate to others. So three things are needed to please Krishna. Name Ruchi, Jivedaya, Vaishnava Seva. And these three things are what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, the external reasons, and then we give the internal reasons of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are connected to external reasons, and external reasons are these only: Name Ruchi, Jivedaya, and Vaishnava Seva. They are actually connected to the internal reasons of Krishna, where we give why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared and why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, right? So here we see Ajamila is also telling the same thing. And when Krishna went to the flowerist Sudama in Mathura, he invites Krishna and offers him flowers. When Krishna asks what he wants, he also tells the same thing. I want these three things. Name Ruchi, Vaishnava Seva and Jivadaya. Same thing. Here also Ajamila is telling, I shall be merciful, well-wishing friends to all living entities and absorb myself in Krishna consciousness. Same. And Prabhupada is writing in the same. So very important. A Krishna conscious person should free himself from Kachra of Maya and should be compassionate to all other sufferings in those clutches. So Jivedaya. The perfection of Krishna consciousness. The activities of Krishna conscious movement are meant not only for oneself but others. One who is interested in his own salvation is not as advanced in Krishna consciousness as one who feels compassion for others and who therefore propagates the Krishna conscious movement. Such an advanced devotee will never fall down, for Krishna will give him special protection. This is summoned substance of Krishna conscious movement. So if you are preaching, we will not fall down. Everyone is like a play toy in the hands of illusory energy, and In acting as she moves, one should come to Krishna conscious to release oneself and also to release others. And then Ajamila, simply because I chanted the holy name of Lord in the association of devotees, my heart is now becoming purified. Therefore, I shall not fall victim again to the false lures of material sense gratification. Now that I have become fixed in absolute truth, henceforth I shall now identify myself. I will not identify myself with body. I shall give up my false conception of I and mine and fix my mind in the lotus feet of Krishna, which is most difficult for us. Because this identification with body is our pleasure is with the body. Why? How can we give up the identity? That is a problem. See, we are not getting spiritual pleasure. We get material pleasure. When we get material pleasure, when we identify with body, we get material pleasure. Even when we are doing spiritual activity, also, now we still have the material identity. When we are doing at least spiritual activity, we should keep a spiritual identity. That's why we need a guru, and exclusive service to guru is very important. That will help us to, okay, this service is only for my guru. That's all. I don't want anything from it. That's why when we are hearing Bhagavatam, reading Bhagavatam, doing deity worship, we offer prayers in the beginning and then only start. We do arati first. To whom we do, we have to offer a flower to guru, take his permission, then only we should do all other service to deities. That is the method. When we do that, then we know that I am doing for a person. My guru only I am doing all this service. The Abhishekam, Arati, dressing, I am doing it for Guru. So we have to offer a flower to Guru in the beginning and then we do the service. So that our consciousness will not be in a bodily conception. Same thing cooking also. Na Yamuna Mataji used to do all pranam mantra, whole Om Ajnana till Hare Krishna, all the acharyas and everything she used to chant and then she used to cook. Because she want to be in a consciousness that it's not bodily conception. It is in the doing for a pleasure of Guru. So like that. Bhagavatam, when we hearing, reading, we start prayers. We are doing it for Guru. So when we have to, we should not identify as a body. I shall give a false conception of mind and fix the mind at lotus feet. So, Prabhupada is writing how a living entity becomes a victim of mental condition is lucidly explained in this verse. The beginning is to misidentify the body as oneself. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita begins with the spiritual instruction that one is not the body but is within the body. This consciousness can be possible only if one chants the holy name of Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and always keep oneself in the association of devotees. This is the secret of success. Such a nice purpose, even though so small, but Gopal is giving wonderful points. You can all go through the purports as a homework and read them. Therefore, we stress that one should chant the holy name of Lord and keep oneself free from the contamination of this material world, especially the contamination of lusty desires for illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, gambling. With determination, one should vow to follow the principles and thus be saved from the miserable condition of material existence. The first necessity is to become free from the bodily conception. Without bodily conception, we will not get pleasure here. And because of moment's association with the devotees, that is Vishnu Dutas, Ajamila detached. So now here Sukadeva Goswami is telling. Ajamila detached himself from material conception of life with determination, thus free from all material attraction, immediately started for Haridwar. So fortunate. Prabhupada is telling the word Mukti Sarvarna indicates that after this incident, Ajamila, not caring for his wife and children, went straight to Haridwar for further advancement in spiritual life. Prabhupada is telling our Krishna conscious movement now has centers in Vrindavan, Navadip, so that those who want to live a retired life, whether they be devotee or not, can go there and with determination give up the bodily conception of life. One is welcome to live in these holy places for the rest of his life in order to achieve the highest success by the very simple method of chanting the holy name and taking prasadam. Thus, one must return back home, back to Godhead. We do not have a center in Haridwar, Prabhupada is telling, but Vrindavan and Mayapur are better for devotees than other places. Chaitanya Chandrodaya temple offers one a good opportunity to associate with devotees. Let us all take advantage of this opportunity. Prabhupada is writing so nice. And Sudhir Goswami says, in Haridwar, Ajamil took shelter of Vishnu Vishnu temple, where he executed the process of Bhakti Yoga. He controlled his senses and fully applied his mind in the service of the Lord. Prabhupada is telling a devotee who has joined Krishna conscious movement may live comfortably in our temples and engage in devotional service. Thus, they can control mind and senses and achieve highest success in life. This is a process of descending from time immemorial. Learning from the life of Ajamil, we should vow with determination to do what is necessary to follow this path. I think, yeah, some more verses are there. Okay, we will take question answers. We already submitted. Hmm. Deepa Macha, this is from previous session or you have now some questions?
Sorry, Prabhuji, it was previous.
Okay. Srinivas Prasad.
Hare Krishna, Dharan Pram Prabhuji, thank you so much.
Then-
Prabhuji, you mentioned that the untimely death or accidental death. What is the reason why? I missed that exactly. Why it
Oh,
happens?
here Papa is writing because if they are living a sinful life, offending Brahmanas, and there are other few reasons that are given. Basically, this is sinful life is untimely death.
Mm-hmm.
That is for sure. And disrespect to Brahmanas and Vaishnavas also untimely death.
Mm.
Like
But,
Mr. N, Mr. Nair, na, who cheated Prabhupada, he
yes,
got
yes,
untimely death because he was
yes.
trying to cheat Prabhupada. So
Correct.
Krishna gave him untimely death.
But sometimes probably we see like in our devotees also, they also met sometimes accidents, or they also get. I had a devotee friend whose brother also started chanting the holy name, and he was not that sincere, but whenever he used to at least chant some fixed number of rounds. He was not exactly into like a kind of a devotee, but he was chanting very favorable. Matlab, with the time, he could have uh, been more sincere, but he met with an accident, and it was very, very shocking for the family. So, how do we understand all these things when it happens to devotees who are trying to come closer
It
to
will
this?
happen to devotees also because that's Krishna feels that maybe there will be a better situation for him to practice bhakti, then he will take them to a different situation.
Hmm.
That also happens. So untimely death happens to devotees
So,
also.
hmm. So that they take
They
devotion
get a
from their
better
birth,
opportunity to practice. Yeah,
from the birth itself.
yeah.
Hmm. Maybe
We
yes.
we will
Very,
not know what Krishna's plan for that living.
very true. Very
We,
true. Very
according
true.
to our
Very true.
understanding, we may feel that this is good for
Hmm.
him, this is good for him.
Yes, yes,
But
yes.
Krishna knows what is good because he is
Very
father
true.
and mother. Father,
Very
mother
true.
knows good
Very
for him.
true. Very true. Very true. And probably one thing which I could understand is like un, until like till the time you are not a devotee, so even if knowingly, unknowingly you are committing, living a sinful life or committing sins also, but you are not aware of those things. But once you become a devotee, then you have to be very, very cautious, very, very matlab, vigilant that you don't, because those things will not. Then you are under the uh, different altogether in a different what do you say, uh, under the
Yeah, we have to.
under the eyes of the Lord, Guru, Vaishnavas. So you can't take it lightly once you become a devotee. Until before that, you whatever you did, you unknowingly you did so many things. So, but once you become a devotee, you have to be very, very cautious. That's what I uh, am able to understand. Is it?
No, previously you didn't have access for these things. Now you got access, you should handle it carefully. Now you got the knowledge.
Hmm.
Now, if you are not acting properly, then it is more dangerous.
Hmm.
Previously, like say now who can do great offense, like a person who is staying with a very big, say, with the prime minister or a king. So he is very close to the king. That
Correct.
means he get more benefit also, and there is a risk of offending. The closer a person, the
Hmm.
greater risk of offending.
Hmm.
So a common citizens cannot offend the king, but a
Hmm.
secretary can offend the king. He can be disrespectful sometimes. He can speak something which is improper, or so many things he can do.
Hmm.
Common man, we don't have access only for the king. How can we
Correct.
offend? So same thing, when we are given the holy name and we are given all these things, Bhagavatam and all,
Hmm.
common person will not offend Bhagavatam. We will offend Bhagavatam because we
Hmm.
have access to Bhagavatam.
Very nice.
Common person does not offend Vaishnavas. We
Hmm.
will do because we are staying with them.
Very true.
That is
Very
the
true.
problem. Yeah.
Yes. The only hope is, Prabhuji, the association of devotees and prayers of devotees, mercy of
Yes.
Guru and Krishna. Otherwise, we are it's very, very like Prabhupada used to say, na, it's like walking on a razor's edge.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly like that. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Prabhu. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hare Krishna. Dandavad.
Dear Krishna Bro.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dhanavad Pranam, Prabhu.
Then
Prabhu, this verse, Esam tu antagatam papam jananam pune karmanam te dundamo nirmukta bhinte mamdra. Prabhu, here antagatam papam, is it referring exclusive to sinful activities, or it includes offenses also? How it is, Prabhu? For Dradabhata bhajan.
just offenses also. Because if we are committing offenses, it will definitely affect our determination.
Yes, 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 yes. So it includes offenses as well as sinful activities.
Yes, yes, all our anarthas, because anarthas only we are holding. So basically, it is our anarthas.
All right, right. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Dhanavad.
Sita Kumar. Sita Kumar Mataji. Yes, ma'am.
Prabhuji, my question is, Prabhuji has also explained in today's, you also mentioned that these Yamdutas, they are very perfect in Dharma Shastras because this is what they have been taught and they know how to execute it. But they don't have knowledge about the Bhakti Shastra. So my thing is, Prabhuji, Yamraj ji himself is a devotee of the Lord. So his team, they are not devotees of the Lord.
No, no, no. They are not devotee. Actually, who does so much sinful activity and he is like permanently staying in hell, na? So they are given the post of this Yamadutas. They say anywhere you are staying for a long time in hell, so you do some duty here only. They settle there. So they are not devotees, but they are pious, not pious, who are sinful only. They stayed there and they continue doing that job. So they will not, they actually, what happens is people are not interested in such things. So they will not be given that knowledge. I say now in your house only you'll have somebody who is never he's a good person, but he's never interested in bhakti. So in your family there is no point in explaining about bhakti. You will never understand only. So you will say, okay, let it be, let him be pious. So like that. Some people will never understand only. They don't have that sukruti. It takes time. So Yamadutas will not understand bhakti. It's not possible. But now Yamaraj is going to explain. They will understand something. Okay, we should not go this near these people. That much only they can understand because the consciousness is very low for them.
Okay, okay. Good, good. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare
Alright.
Krishna.
Deepa Mataji. Deepa Mataji, you have question? Okay. Gail Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare.
Just now you were answering, yes, you were answering a question in which you said that, people who are not, who don't have access to Krishna or his devotees, Krishna and his devotees, they will not be offended by them. is those who will have access. So when we talk about having access, we're talking about people who are aware of of Krishna's, I guess, of who he is, his glories, his position, and and the those who understand the value of devotees. Is that what you mean by those who have access and who, that determines who can be offensive and who is not in a position to be offensive?
Yeah. So that's what my point is. Like, say you are staying with Prime Minister, who has more chances of offending him? A person who is a common citizen or a secretary. So because secretary has more access to the Prime Minister, so there is more chance that he can offend him like that.
Yeah, but I'm trying to paraphrase this term, having access, because anybody can, not anybody, but any so many people may chant the name, but the difference between two people who are both chanting the name, right? But one has access, one does not have access, means that the one who does not have access means that he is he is not aware of the glories of the name or
No, see, you take mala and we take mala and sit and chant the holy name. Materialistic person, they don't sit and chant with the holy name, no. So they don't come in touch with holy name the way we are. We sit and we want to chant 16 rounds. In that half time, people are sleeping and they are thinking about their mortgage and all. So for a materialistic person, he never chants like that. Because even if he's chanting, you go to temple, he chant, he will chant, okay, I have to chant maybe. That time he's not thinking of anything. He's just sincerely just connected to holy name and chants and goes. And when he goes to temple or anything, he is very respectful everyone. Like say in general, we don't offend anyone. We are respectful to people in general. But when we stay with devotees,
Mhm.
we feel that this fellow did like this fellow did like this, because we are too close. We'll start finding faults in them. So there is a more chance that we offend devotees, not outside persons. Like we don't offend outside people because no access much. So more we are closer, more we'll find faults. So we can see faults when we stay too closely to a person, and that causes offense. Anything. So in Vrindavan, Dham offense. Now, how many people in US will do offense to Vrindavan? They don't have access only. But we go to Vrindavan and we can commit offense to Vrindavan. You're understanding the difference.
But when, let's say, somebody from the United States, he doesn't know anything really about Krishna consciousness, and he somehow or other he ends up in Vrindavan, right?
Yeah.
So that's why a person who is ignorant about these spiritual subject matters, they may go to a holy place and do something, I don't know, inappropriate, right? So is is he in a position to actually make offense even though he is acting in ignorance?
Yes, that is offense. So that's why we don't. If he comes to Vrindavan and he smokes and drinks and eats some non-veg and all, then it is an offense. Then he's also committing Dham offense. And like he is meeting a devotee and he don't know he's a devotee, but he spoke ill to a devotee. Then also it is an offense for him, even though he don't know. He's a materialistic person.
Hmm.
Like say he spoke something wrongly to a devotee, it's an offense. If he does with outside person, it's different. He should not do it a devotee. So that's why devotee should be careful so that they will not make other people commit offense to them. They behave properly so
Uh-huh.
that people don't get into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
like that. So you don't deal
Okay.
with them, you'll not have problems. You deal with them, you should be careful. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Forgive me
Ah,
for
good. Yes,
for
ma'am.
the call. Yeah. So, Prabhuji, I have a question regarding the Vaishnava Parad.
Yeah.
So, like earlier, I used to think that in rituals only, like until coming to Krishna consciousness, whatever we do, the puja or whatever, everything there is a fear factor. If I do puja to one person, that will that will displease another god. And so if I do this way, then that will displease another god. Should I do it or not? Like this, there was always a fear factor. So now, in Krishna consciousness, when we were doing this chanting and everything, and didn't really know much about the offenses and things like that, at that time there was like I was like more fearless. But now again there is a fear which is induced by understanding the offenses more. That is fine. It is good to know what is the right thing to do and what is the wrong thing. But there are certain situations, Prabhuji, when you see that like somebody very senior is actually doing something which is like drastically different from what Guru Sadhu Shastra are doing. One is blaspheming, another devotee. Two people having different styles of preaching or different styles of seva. It is absolutely fine to have, which we can understand even as like very junior people. But I am wondering, somebody who is know this by heart the offenses, who is reading it every day, and and is actually in the preaching mission, is outrightly, if they are blaspheming another devotee and their style is not good, our style is good or whatever, and also influencing many other devotees who is coming under, um, so it is very very difficult to like observe and not do anything, which I was still trying to do, ki not speak about it or anything like that. But then there are the subordinates who by this influence also start blaspheming the other senior Vaishnava, and carry this baton forward. Then somebody came and told me about this, and this is how, this is how, this is how. Then I just told one thing, that use your own intelligence. Sometimes don't get influenced just by what others opinion is. You have to use your own intelligence also. See if anything is not aligning with sadhu shastra and guru. If will your guru be pleased if suppose you hear that this is what is your opinion, this is what you are saying, or will the shastra approve of it? We are reading 10 offenses every day. So but thinking like this also, like I am having a sense of discrimination in my mind. Is that also an aparad? Is my question, Prabhuji, like what is actually a Vaishnava aparad? Even when somebody is wrong and you trying to stay away from it, and the other person not letting you stay away, wanting you to do more service under them, but my mind and heart are not accepting. So then I'm not understanding what exactly is Vaishnava Aparad and what is not a Vaishnava Aparad, and how do I reconcile these points, and what I should be doing, what I should not be doing. Will you be able to give some clarity, Prabhuji? Because I wanted to ask this question in the other forum, but Prabhuji's style of answering is different, which I'll ask him again. But you also give very wonderful answers and very practically applicable answers. That's why I'm asking you also this question. So, will you be able to help me, Prabhuji, to understand?
Here, two, three things are there, Mataji. See, everybody is trying to serve Krishna in their own way and with their own conviction. So we cannot
Hmm.
say this is right, this is wrong. Everybody has their own style.
So, how
And
very senior people also should understand the same thing, right? That everybody will have different style. It is okay as long as it's not like outrightly bad or harmful. This should be okay. We can cooperate. That's what Prabhupada wanted us to cooperate and serve. So.
Only when we have problem, na, when because of my style of preaching or anything, it is troubling others. Then only
Hmm.
the problem comes. Like say,
Hmm.
I am trying to get my project done. I
Hmm.
am trying to utilize other people.
Hmm.
I am trying to exploit other people. Then that is a problem.
Hmm.
Otherwise, otherwise it's not a problem only. Like I may be interested in more of construction of temples. I may be interested in more of other type of other
Hmm.
styles of preaching and other things. Everything is perfect. Only thing is it should not create trouble for others.
Agitation. Agitation in the
Others.
mind of devotees.
Yes. So then that is not a problem. And even something is
So if
happening
it
now.
is
If I'm
agitating,
not,
can we like step back and like be just a spectator? Like Haripashar Prabhu
you
says,
are
dur
not.
se pranam karo.
Yeah, you are not authority there. You are not in charge. He is
Hmm.
not under
And
you.
nothing.
Then you should not deal with that. If you are
Hmm.
really getting affected, you talk to somebody who can deal with it. If you don't have
Hmm.
anybody, you can keep quiet and you say,
Hmm.
no, whoever is the authority, they will deal with it. That's all.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
if you don't have any power over it or anything, you just have to
Hmm.
keep distance. Otherwise, you will only commit offenses. So,
Hmm.
and another thing is, we should not tell this to 10 people. See, now you
Hmm.
told me. So
Hmm.
now, of course, you didn't tell any name and all. This is okay. This is good
Hmm.
only. But
Hmm.
if you want to discuss more detail and how it is and all, we should not
Hmm.
discuss with 10 people. That's an offense.
Yeah. I
Only
haven't
one
discussed
person
Prabhuji.
whom
This
you
is
are taking guidance,
hmm.
whom you are taking guidance and who can guide you, only one
Yeah.
person you should discuss with them.
So if the one
You
who is
should,
guiding you only is doing all this, then what do you do? That is the problem.
then you have to go for some other devotee whom you have faith.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
like now you know
yeah.
somebody
Must.
whom you
Hmm.
trust and you know they can help you. That
Hmm.
person you can take guidance. You can ask this situation and ask what should I do in this situation. So because
Hmm.
we are, that's the advantage of an institute. We have many devotees available who can help us, guide us, and
Hmm.
give proper understanding. So this is
Yes,
the
Prabhuji.
advantage of an institute.
Yes, Prabhuji. So
So
yeah,
only
so
thing
that's
is
why I
don't
kept
try
quiet
to
and but now I just wanted to check with you on the reconciliation. You also mentioned in the retreat when you talked about loving relationships, Prabhuji, that utilizing, like just now you mentioned, utilizing devotees even for Krishna Seva. When I was sharing it with others also about what I learned in the retreat, utilizing devotees, using devotees even if it is Krishna Seva. Then they said, but everybody has to be engaged in services. How do you engage in service without using? So, can you please explain? Like what?
no, no, the
Can you give examples?
motivation is what matters, Mataji. Like
Mm,
say now your children are there. You tell them
mm,
to help you in your household services.
mm,
It is not exploitation
mm.
because your motive is not to exploit your children. Your motive is that they will also learn certain things and it also help me.
Okay.
Now, when you are doing some project in temple, you
Mm,
have the motivation. Okay, they let them also get benefit. They let them also get an opportunity to serve Krishna.
mm,
Let them also
mm,
learn some things.
mm.
So it is not whether you are giving service or not. What motivation you are doing, that matters.
Okay. So
Yeah.
our motivation matters, or even like the person who is doing the service should
See, we will
voluntarily
not
feel
know
that
the.
I also want to get engaged in service. My like the person
Yeah.
who is getting engaged, is that also important, or one
Yes, yes.
may not even know what is the benefit of getting engaged in service. So the upper authority will say that you do this and then you get benefited like that.
You
How
have to
is it?
give training for them. See, before
Hmm.
giving service, now we should also train them why they should
Train.
do service. Otherwise, they will
Okay.
do with material motivations. Okay, if
Hmm.
I do service, I will also get post position, or I'll get some appreciation, or I'll get something. So
Hmm.
we have to help them to have right motivation. That's why we need Bhagavatam classes every day hearing, so that our
Hmm.
motivation should be right when you do an action.
Got it, Prabhuji. So, which means that, like, if I have a problem, if I'm seeing a problem, either if I discuss with somebody to understand what my consciousness should be and what I should be doing, that is good. and I step back and just be an observer, spectator, and not really get involved in one's blasphemy of another. And not talk about it to 10 100 other people, and that will lead to Vaishnava aparadh, right? If I
Yes,
talk to more
anytime you
people
tell
about
about
this.
other person to more than one person, you are doing one or two
Hmm.
persons, you are trying to discuss about him with more people, we
Hmm.
are definitely doing Vaishnava.
Hmm. But in also some cases, Prabhuji, like the one, like suppose there is a preacher who's not being trained about preaching, but have been given a position of preacher, and is actually speak like within the community, is speaking very important shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, but the purport is not really explained in the way that Prabhupada has given. But and also like all these material examples, the talk, this and that, all matlab idhar udhar ki batein is more, but the real concept, what like how you have explained, like what karma yoga, what this, and I don't see motivation. Like even after 2 3 years of preaching, also like, and also informing that like more you can hear more lectures and then you can speak. Of course, I'm in no authority to advise somebody or tell somebody what they need to do, and I am not given that position also. So but then when you're seeing outright in front of you that Prabhupada's movement is getting wasted, people are connected here but they are not growing because they don't know what's happening with what's actually the real essence of these purports, because all the discussion that goes off in the feast program is only on these material things. Then thinking that also, is it like offensive? Like in that case, what do? I have informed the higher authority. I've informed the person also that can be better. You can hear this. You can stick to the purports. You can just read out the purports and things like that. So what can you do? I though avoided only going to the satsang, but I'm not understanding what to do, Prabhuji.
Yeah, that is the best thing. You can avoid going because once you go again, you will get that mind again start
Yeah,
offending.
my mind
You
gets
can't.
agitated that
Uh,
this is
so
how Prabhupada's
that
purport
is
is
it.
being
So
explained.
better is you have to avoid that situation. So no need to go. And if you are
But I feel
feeling
very
that
sad for all the people who are sitting there who have no clue,
no, if you
even
are
after
feeling
three
for them,
years.
you can meet personally to them, talk to them personally. You can make them join online classes, and you can take online
Yeah.
classes for them. So if
Yeah.
you are feeling for the people who are coming, then there are so many alternatives to help them. You can
Okay.
personally talk to them, give them online
Because
classes, tell
online
them.
classes will offend this person as well as the senior who's they have not given me, I think, any authority to start off an online class. However, I did,
No,
and some Matajis only joined, and those are only they are whatever you have said. I keep repeating, so therefore they are serious about the movement. They are serious about their chanting. They have grown from one round
so
to
that is
16
only
rounds.
your area of influence. Yeah, whoever
Yeah,
comes to you, that is Krishna is sending them,
that's all.
Guru is
Yes.
sending them, and you can continue with them.
That
That's
is
all.
exactly how I have taken it. So that is fine, right, Prabhuji? This is
Yeah.
not an offense, no?
No, 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 no.
If you're
Keeping distance is
displeasing a
always
devotee,
safe.
that devotee knows that I am doing this, then that there is a displeasure.
No, it does not matter because we cannot please everybody in this world. You have to
Mm.
identify somebody whom you want to please, and you have to have faith in them, and only you can work on please.
Mm.
You cannot please, you cannot please everyone, and it is not practical also.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So you can, we can change our authorities also. That is not an offense. I am not
Mm.
telling you to change, but I am telling
No, I'm
even that is
seriously
way of influence.
contemplating that because that is agitating my mind, but I don't know what that will cause. I don't know. I'm thinking, still thinking about it,
No, that is
observing.
based on our strength. If you are strong, you know that this is
Mm.
right and you have to do right. That is sincerity. That is not wrong.
Mm.
And there are so many because ISKCON is such big and online you have so much opportunities and many sincere people are there who are really want to hear. So you
Mm.
can help
Yes,
them
Prabhuji.
nicely. So not a problem. There are many people who are want to know, who want to learn, who want to understand. And If you want to speak, you can speak. Online, you can start every day. You can have a class.
Yes,
Morning,
Prabhuji.
evening. Yeah,
Yes.
you can take online classes and do your preaching, and you will become stronger. And then you can have, you can
Yeah,
then your authority
I
will be
think
happy also.
online actually suits me also and the other people who like this cannot make time for a physical this one. So I'm working on it and afternoon I'm taking for some Mataji's Leelamrit to connect with ISKCON's principles, to understand what Prabhupada is, so that you can actually understand the blood, sweat, and tears that Prabhupada has actually shed for writing these purports, and what is it, how we can develop gratitude towards Prabhupada. For doing that, I started with Leelamrit and a half an hour of shlokas and translations of Srimad Bhagavatam for purification of heart and things like that. So that has connected people very well. They understood what exactly is ISKCON. Until then, we are there in the community for 3 years attending satsangs, but there is no movement happening. Nobody knows what Prabhupada is. Nobody is moving from one round to 16 rounds. Nothing was happening. I'm not saying this for my credit. My point is that unless somebody understands the importance of Prabhupada and Prabhupada's purpose, what exactly he has done for the movement, what exactly is ISKCON, what is it doing for your life, until then you will not be able to make any spiritual way. Everything is only just a physical get together. It's like a party time, but a different is Sattvic party. So so then for connecting with Prabhupada, that was my initiative which I had taken and it worked out somehow. But it is
Yeah,
very
so
limited.
it is the test for you only. It is not for them. Every time any
Yes, yes,
situation comes, na,
exactly.
you should know that
Exactly.
it is a situation arrangement by Krishna to make you make. He want to see how serious you are, how sincere you are, and now
Yes,
you know
sir.
that this is situation and how you are going to act. Are you ready to give up all your fears and conditionings to serve Krishna?
Mm,
Then
mm,
you give up your fears and serve Krishna. That's all.
mm,
So it is not to anybody's point there. It is only between you
mm.
and Krishna. What you want to do for Krishna and how you want to do for Krishna.
Okay, Prabhuji. Got it, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Any other questions, comments? Will end here. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, we have something in chat box. Okay, Hare Krishna.